I guess Link's just been sitting here on this dangerous cliff, clinging to 1 HP since the last time I played, which was well over a year ago. Not to worry, a safe haven lies just beyond this treacherous, scorching desert, through the undersea cavern, across the haunted graveyard, down the lawless bandits road, nothing but net. Anyway, good evening, KarmaJoltions, and welcome to Let's Freakin' Play Legend of Zelda II, Spirits Within. Written, performed, and narrated by the one and only KarmaJolt, who has yet to actually confirm the existence or absence of another human being who might share the same name. You may have noticed that our nameless protagonist has somehow survived an assault despite having only a single point of health. This anomaly can be attributed to the game's guts mechanic, which occasionally allows characters to survive attacks that would otherwise be fatal. What luck, the low-level monster has dropped a vase of dimes, allowing Lord Ellawood to purchase an energy bar from the nearest vending machine. Of course, it takes a fair amount of magic power to summon a vending machine. As you may not remember or care, a much larger portion of the world has become accessible after the acquisition of the Raft, which is not simply a crudely constructed flotation device, but rather an acronym for Rideable Aerodynamic Flying Tarp. Also, I guess I found a secret area by accident. But before we travel to the eastern continent, let's stop in town to restore our health and magic and sanity meter. Who tomb we is at? Ah yes, this tomb is dedicated to the Sacramento Kings of the National Basketball Association. The team was eliminated by the Los Angeles Lakers in the Western Conference Finals of the 2002 NBA playoffs. The league's reputation was tarnished by controversy and allegations of corruption when the Lakers were awarded an unprecedented 27 free throws in the fourth quarter of Game 6. It was later revealed in June of 2008 that the attorney of former NBA referee Tim Donaghy filed a court document claiming that an executive order was given to extend the series, and the referees were commanded to manipulate the game in favor of Los Angeles. But now it's time for a cold, refreshing glass of milk, of the poppy, to relax our minds and muscles. Well, so long, town whose name I can't remember, I'll never forget you. Although, someone should probably inform this elderly peach that the water of life, as she calls it, can be procured from the robot in orange and the lady in the red armor just down the road. It is time for some difficult and perilous seafaring. The AM/FM radio emits an annoying tune. Finally, we have arrived after mere moments of grueling travel. Already our decision is regrettable, since this place looks just like the other place, but worse. Even the minor enemy encounters include heavily armored grasshoppers that are both agile and reckless, as if they have previously chickadee-checked themselves. Good thing Roy can read, unlike that kid from Dragon Quest V. What? You don't get the reference? I suppose I'll just have to start another series then. The villagers in this lively town of South Narshi are constantly out and about, since none of them have access to the internet. This freelance masonry inspector commits an egregious typo in his conversation. Boats are the devices that allow one to walk on water, so to speak. Now locate the nearest soup kitchen so you can refill your boost meter. I wonder how many other magic users frequent this shady dive in order to replenish exhausted resources. And do any of the locals ever leave town to slay monsters for exercise, or leveling up, as we might call it? After you've tried Sobe brand Life Water, normal water just doesn't cut it for you anymore. Or maybe it's because your body has built up a tolerance to H2O. Calm down, Luigi. Quit stabbing. She'll talk to you when she wants to. You are in no way entitled to a portion of her time. Wait a minute, if this is the healer lady, then who is the other identical porch wanderer? Maybe she was, spontaneously and very rapidly constructing this outhouse while you were on the other side of town. Oh, you have done nothing? Come inside for a reward. The water fountain was literally within 10 steps of her front door, but she rewards you with the magic of fire for your brief errand. It makes you wonder how many people in this city can shoot flames from their weapons. The presumably wise man raises his arms and proclaims that this magic will make your guns shoot bullets. Don't get too excited. This is actually one of the least useful spells in your repertoire, despite what your experience might suggest. Also, why are these stairs so damn large? Perhaps to keep that bearded dude locked up in my basement, along with Dr. Dre. In any case, our objective is clear. Discover a source of renewable energy. Exiting the town from either side will place you on the same spot on the overworld map. This is because each village is constructed in a system of concentric circles, much like the fabled city of Atlantis. The woman with the heavy blue hat recommends that if we're going to see a man before we explore the islands, make it a Darunian. Wink. The hanging hot dog creature has a disturbing habit of forcefully pulling humans closer for observation. While the unusual animal means no harm, it is still quite disconcerting to be yanked from the floor suddenly only to be met by beady black eyes and fangs. Our quest to find the perfect cheesesteak continues. Perhaps we will have greater luck in the northern regions. Damn, even the wild animals know the fire spell around here. Unfortunately, there are only a few beings in this entire adventure who are vulnerable to fire, and one of them is you. If only you had some sort of reliable projectile, you could easily handle enemies with ranged attacks. What happened to your bow and arrows, or your boomerang, or your magic wand, or your roasted meat from the previous game? I guess you'll just have to settle for magical armor-piercing flame spheres, which still aren't as useful as they sound. Easter egg. If you look closely at the shot where Link exits the short cave, you can see the S and Z Tetris pieces have both made a brief cameo. Up ahead in the sand, there are two triggered encounter squares that can easily be circumvented by colliding with a monster sprite just as you enter the designated areas. Here, it happens so smoothly that you may not have even noticed, but normally, 2 spaces along this narrow path will take you to a dangerous area filled with scary pitfalls and bubbles. If you haven't noticed, I'm trying to make this attempt a little more obvious. By standing around... Look, it's different now, I did it! Note that the major monster encounter is virtually the same as the minor monster encounter in this area. We've arrived at another town, which is unfortunate because I'm running out of stupid shit to say about towns. Well, hopefully there's someone interesting to talk to around here. Link, being very ADHD and subconsciously sexist, exits the conversation before this young lady can even finish a sandwich. Or perhaps he is simply looking for a place to hide since he is painfully shy around attractive females. Quickly, hide inside the residence of this attractive female! Wow, it's like the action just never stops in this game. But let's stay focused on finding some magic or something, I guess. Or maybe there's an ally to recruit around here. Why should we have to save Hyrule all on our own? We might even be able to hire a mercenary, if rupees still existed in this game. What happened to those? Has the land of Hyrule progressed to a utopian society with no economy? Or is everybody around here just broke as balls? Anyway, the city of Yellow Sky, Colorado sure has changed since the last time I saw it. I guess they finally got rid of that useless streetcar system in favor of not hemorrhaging money from the town budget. Kidnapped child? Maybe I'll look into it. Oh, a knight? Holy shit, I want to meet him! Ah yes, we must boldly break into the house of a stranger the way only Mario or Santa Claus would. With brute force. Fuckstairs! This large mansion is eerily empty. Perhaps the tenant is claustrophobic and prefers the shelter of wide-open warehouses. But lives in the basement anyway. Wait, is this the kidnapped child the others were talking about? No, but at least he can teach you how to harm birds more effectively. Link is visibly excited with his new technique, and gushes over the fact that he can now attack in all directions. If only he were aware of the third dimension, he would realize that his training is incomplete. Okay, one last milkshake, then we out. That pretty much wraps up this episode of Let's Freakin' Play Zelda II. Sorry it took me over a year, but I've been inspired to be productive as of late, so expect another update fairly soon. Until next time, tell your arch nemesis I'm great.